Welcome to the Everything Works Out for Us podcast. My name is Marina, and I'm so happy that you're here to join me on this journey of embracing a growth mindset that's grounded in gratitude and self-awareness. I'm an REBT mindset life coach, actor, singer, content creator, and the bigger sister that you always wanted. And I'm ready to start turning our mental and emotional roadblocks into road maps. In each episode, I holistically utilize psychology, spirituality, and my own personal experiences to strive to empower you to step into your power and deeply connect to both your inner knowing and the world around you. Let's grow together. Hi friends, welcome back to the pod. Happy Wednesday. Thank you for all of your support on the last couple episodes from the bottom of my heart. I'm super excited to share that I have a couple amazing, incredible guests in the works. Finally, I know I've been saying that I want to do this and I'm finally doing it. But I'm bringing on some creators and coaches who have greatly inspired me, and I literally cannot wait to bring them on the show. I can't wait to introduce you to them all. And I don't want to give anything away yet, but this is your sign to stay tuned because you're not going to want to miss these incredible interviews. But focusing on this week, the topic that I want to discuss, as you know from the title, are the benefits of journaling. For those of you who know me well, you know that I made a journal entry every single day of college and the year after college, so I could just fill up the entire journal. Shout out to Miss K. I don't know if you listened to this, but Miss K was my high school choir and kind of theater and music teacher, one of my biggest inspirations growing up, and she gifted me this journal when I graduated high school, and it is one of the best and most meaningful gifts I have ever received. So, Miss K, if you're listening, thank you for this meaningful gift, and I can't wait to talk about it. So to this day, this is definitely one of my proudest accomplishments, doing this. Journaling is something that has always been very near and dear to my heart, and it's also something that does come quite naturally for me, but I've been even more drawn to speak about it now because, as I mentioned last episode, I started the Artist's Way program. And one of the main things in this 12-week program is that it entails what's called the morning pages, and the guidelines of the morning pages are simple. You fill 3 pages in a journal as soon as you wake up, complete stream of consciousness, just get whatever is on your mind onto the page, total word vomit. So I'm going to chat not only about the morning pages, but just the overall benefits that I have experienced from being a long-time journaler. And of course, I want to cover some psychological studies on journaling and how we can gain spiritual momentum by journaling as well. But let's continue and start off with the morning pages and Julia Cameron, the author, her take on them. So Cameron says, there is no wrong way to do morning pages. They are not high art. They are not even quote unquote writing. They are about everything and anything that crosses your mind, and they are for your eyes only. Morning pages provoke, clarify, comfort, cajole, oh no, prioritize, and synchronize the day at hand. Additionally, Cameron claims it is very difficult to complain about a situation morning after morning, month after month, without being moved to constructive action. The pages lead us out of despair and into undreamed of solutions. So this is one of my favorite quotes from the book so far and gave me a really great perspective shift. Giving yourself the routine time to essentially word vomit first thing in the morning gives us a judgment-free space to completely clear our minds and gives us a fresh start for the day. And if there's something that we consistently find ourselves ruminating over the second that we wake up, it is, for lack of better words, a wake-up call. It is actually wild the amount of time that humans spend repeating thought patterns and thinking about the same things over and over again. According to a study done by Dr. Fred Luskin of Stanford University, 90% of our thoughts are the same thoughts that we thought yesterday. And if these are thoughts that keep us stuck in writer's block or just overall unhappy, unproductive, worried, etc., we want to change those, right? But before change has to come self-awareness, and then comes problem solving. And so the whole end goal of the Artist's Way is to release creative blocks and to be able to tap into the potential of unlimited creativity. And most of the time, we stand in our own way. Humans are great at that. We're great at self-sabotage. But the stream of consciousness and journaling that the Morning Pages requires gives us a dedicated window into our own emotions that we may not even realize are there, especially since our brain is still most likely in the theta state, coming right out of sleep, and that's the state that is most tied to our subconscious. So this is also the state that it's recommended to manifest in because it's more deeply associated or tied to your subconscious before we're bogged down by all the conscious stuff that's thrown at us throughout the day. The Morning Pages aren't the only form of journaling that are beneficial, though, obviously. Journaling can and should be a very personal experience. I've been journaling since I was a little girl, but really started keeping a journal in middle school, mainly to let out all my big emotions. And then I kept the separate daily one in my college years as well. And there's so much that I can laugh at now, but also a lot I can cry at still. And it's fascinating to track my growth and to read back on my life like a book. There really is just so much that you forget that you don't even realize that you've forgotten. There's no right or wrong way to journal, really. I guess I would argue to say that the only wrong way to journal would be to write what's not fully honest, because what's the point then? But other than that, if you stream of consciousness, right? If you bullet point, if you write just one sentence a day, even if you write lyrics or poetry, anything, whatever feels right to you, that's the right way to do it. So once you find a way of journaling that feels comfortable and that you like, here are some benefits. Journaling encourages self-confidence. Especially if you actively try to practice positive self-talk, or if you're going back through your entries and you realize that you are talking very negatively about yourself, it could be a moment of self-realization and a sign to begin a more positive self-talk practice, both through journaling and, of course, in other areas of your life too. But your journal is an amazing, safe place to gas yourself up, girl. Or boy, you know what I mean. It's a judgment-free zone to get out all the yuckies, the ickies, the vampires, but to also speak your own praises and to recognize and appreciate your own worth and amazingness and to be proud of yourself. Journaling can also boost emotional intelligence, something that I think society as a whole needs and can benefit from. So if you want to do your part in society and be emotionally intelligent, you should start journaling. The process of writing down your honest thoughts can give you a deeper understanding of your own thoughts, emotions, reactions, triggers, etc., and can help you process and heal things that have been festering inside. Journaling can bring emotions to the surface you didn't even know were there, and by doing so can lead to greater self-discovery and help you decide how you want to react to things in the future now that you know more about yourself and your patterns and your feelings. Journaling is also a great tool to help you achieve goals. The physical act of writing down your goals, even if it may seem silly, can motivate you and can keep you more accountable to the things that you want to accomplish. Plus, come on, it feels amazing to check things off a list, things that you've been meaning to get to, and all of a sudden now, check. And it's also just a great way to track your progress as well. So your goals are allowed to change, but watching yourself slowly accomplish your goals throughout the years through your journal is having that tangible proof that you did it, and that's awesome. Journaling obviously also inspires creativity. This is a big concept in the morning pages as well. And if you're someone who has ideas coming to you constantly throughout the day, but you tend to forget them, I highly encourage that you write them down. And it's even better if it's in that one designated place. Don't let those ideas go to waste. And if words aren't enough to express your ideas, try drawing them or sketching them. There's no wrong way to express creativity or creative ideas. Now, this one is really cool. Both of these next 2 points I'm going to say, so listen closely. Research has shown that journaling and writing things down can boost your memory. And as an actor, I always have to write down my lines when I'm trying to memorize them, so I can say firsthand that physically writing things down does help my memory in that way. And even if journaling your thoughts and feelings doesn't always help you remember specific details, by writing them down, you put the memories into existence forever. Like I said, there are a lot of moments that my memory has let go of, but I'm so grateful that I have them forever in these journals to recall for the rest of my life. The memory in my mind may be fleeting, but journaled memories, they last forever. Okay, now this benefit is particularly amazing. Multiple psychological studies that I am going to link in the bio have shown that journaling about traumatic events can improve physical and emotional health. In this study conducted by Pennebaker and Bial, a group of college students wrote exclusively about a traumatic experience that they went through, and then another group of students wrote about just mundane things like their room or shoes. And the group that wrote about their deepest emotions for multiple days in a row reported, both through self-assessment and they were objectively assessed through the study, they reported better physical health 4 months later, including less visits to the health center. Additionally, in another study by the same researchers, the results of the subjects who wrote about deep emotions reported a decrease in emotional distress and decrease in physical symptoms in the short term, and in the long term showed amazing benefits like lowered blood pressure, improved lung and liver function, reduced depressive symptoms, fewer stress-related visits to the doctor, and a feeling of greater psychological well-being, as well as improved sporting performance, reduced absenteeism from work, greater GPA for those that were students, and improved memory. I mean, these are pretty major results for something that is so easy and accessible for anyone to do. I was blown away reading that study. And personally, I just want to say that I've experienced a lot of emotional healing and clarity through journaling, namely being able to go back and reread old entries. By doing so, this has been the most tangible way that I've been able to track my progress as a human, trying to grow, heal, and make our way through this silly little life. And when I find myself in the present moment really struggling about a situation that I'm going through, I'll go back and I'll reread old journal entries, and it may sound silly, but it has brought me so much clarity to read in my own words who I was and how I felt before this situation ever happened to me. I can get consumed in the moment over a relationship or situation, and I cannot imagine how I can move forward because I cannot imagine or remember what my life was even like before I was dealing with this. But going back and reading stuff that I myself had written about the life that was mine and still is mine just a few years ago gives me this unexplainable hope and peace. I know that I was my own whole person before this thing happened to me, and I will continue to navigate life and be my own whole person after this thing happened to me too. And more things will continue to happen to me, and I'll write about those things too, and I'll continue to feel, and I'll heal, and life moves forward. So now that we've discussed a lot of the major benefits of journaling, I'll give a few journaling method suggestions if you're looking for that. And as I mentioned, I have multiple journals that all serve different purposes. So let's just go over a few ideas. So the first is a stream of consciousness and / emotional release journal, which is just a safe space to let everything out on the page, judgment free. It really helps with unpacking and processing your emotions and gives you room to come up with solutions to problems as well, because you can kind of reflect back once it's all on the page. Next is a daily journal. So that's the place to write down the highlights or the lowlights of the day. Great for memory keeping, and I'm so grateful again that I did this to remember all the random things that happened in college and also how I handled all those things at that time in my life. Next is a goal journal, which is a place to write down your goals, brainstorm ideas, and be able to stay accountable and track your accomplishments. And next is an affirmation and or gratitude journal. And so that's going to be a place to practice self-love and affirmations, especially if you struggle with saying them out loud, and to give gratitude for the big and little things, again, especially if you struggle with recognizing them out loud or just in regular day-to-day life. Having a journal is a dedicated place to give yourself and your life love. And then you can have a creativity journal, which obviously is a place to write down all of your ideas, formulate them, watch them grow, plant those seeds. And lastly, another idea is a manifestation journal. So there's a lot of different manifestation scripting techniques is what it's called. A lot of different methods, 369 method, there's a bunch. So if that's something you're interested in, scripting can be a great way to begin a manifestation process. And then also, again, a great way to track your manifestations and the ones that come true and the ones that maybe you don't want anymore, that didn't happen, or the ones that you kind of forgot about and they did happen. And it's all in this one place in your journal. Alrighty, well, I think I'm going to wrap up this episode. I know it's a bit short and sweet this week, but I hope that if you're not a journaler, that something I spoke about in this episode can inspire you to pick up a pen and write. You can even make a little date out of it. Go to a cute paper card or bookstore or even Target, who cares, and pick out a journal that you love and just write. If the thought of writing daily is too daunting and overwhelming, write whenever you feel like it. There's no wrong way to journal, remember. And I hope that if you start journaling, it begins to bring you clarity, healing, and hope. And if you're already a journaler, I hope that you've also found some insight as well and some inspo to keep doing what you're doing. Maybe even dust off an old journal and reread some entries tonight. Celebrate how far you've come and celebrate how much more you have yet to experience. Celebrate that the best is yet to come. And I can say with full sincerity how grateful I am that I did not give up like I wanted to, according to my journal from a few years ago. If I gave up then, I wouldn't have gotten to experience some pretty amazing things in my career, in finding love, in my friendships, and just in my life in general. And even though that I may be overwhelmed when life throws shit at me sometimes, I know that my future self 5 years from now will be reading the entries that I'm writing now, so thankful that I didn't give up. The best is yet to come, baby. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week. As always, I'm sending you so much love.